you guys should not come to the UK. Oh, it is this, it's lonely, it's that. If you're too tired there, carry your bag and come back now and stop disturbing us. Yeah, you're saying your UK is not good, but you're still there. Everybody should just shut the fuck up. So, welcome back. My name is Call Me Aronkos Funkos. And if you're a returning subscriber, how far? My OGs in the house, welcome back. This is the most requested video ever since I got back. So grab your popcorn, grab a drink, and let's delve right into it. You know, as students, you're only allowed to work 20 hours. So we didn't get jobs immediately. I had a friend. We were classmates. We had met from Nigeria, but we never saw physically from Nigeria, but we met online. We knew that we were classmates. So we've been talking and all of that. So when we got to school, classes had started, and we're not working, right? So it was like, we cannot be changing naira to pounds. My dad was sending money. Me, I even had problems. I had eye issue. Apparently, the diagnosis I had all my life from Nigeria for my eye problem was wrong. Another video for that one. Like I said, story times inside this UK is plenty. So it's going to be like in another video. So my dad had to like send money for me to convert to pounds. You know, it was a lot of converting naira to pounds, which did not make any sense. So we tried hard, we go on job like that. And UK is not so friendly with students in the sense that, you know, for US, you are not allowed to work outside of the school premise. So your CV is being built. You work in line with what you're studying. They just have a lot of programs that like harness your career path in the US. In the UK, it's you go and look for work, factory, care job, clinical, cleaning, a lot of like random jobs, but not actual jobs that would progress you as a person or harness whatever it was or it is you came to study in the UK. So we were looking for work. We did not see work on time. Apparently they said that January start is it's usually like a little difficult for people in January starts to get jobs because that's like the winding down time for most companies, and most companies start to employ people start maybe March, April, and all of those things. So we didn't really get jobs until that period. So we started working and things started moving. Before you know, middle of the year had come, you know, reality started setting in. We started understanding the concept of the country. So we started looking, my friend and I started looking at ourselves. Okay, what do we want to do? We want sponsorship, right? We need to start applying to companies that could sponsor us in line with what it was that we wanted to do, right? So while we were looking for a job, we were looking for everything, you know, school was already winding down. And as a student, we were making just £800 per month. So we did not, I mean, for we that were sticking to the rules, my friend and I, we did not think, you know, for the first 12,000 you're going to make in the UK, there is no tax deduction. So we did not think, I did not see it as, when they used to talk about tax, that's my own. I just used to look like, I mean, I get my salary at the end of the month, about £900, you know, every month, work 20 hours. I said, okay, you know, I did not bother. My own is after school, we shall go and rent a house, we'll continue our lives. I was playing. When reality hit me was when, so during one of the holidays that we had, I decided to work overtime. Because I needed money. I think that was when I wanted to get my car. So I was doing overtime. I'd collected money from my dad that I was going to add extra money to get a car. So I was working. Needed to see me. I worked so much that the money I'd made during that break was almost £2,500. So it was like, it was sweetening my blood. I did not know that. It was time to collect my most wanted, most yearned for salary. And lo and behold, my people, they deducted tax. And I was left with about 1,000 something pounds. I can't remember the exact figure, but I was shocked to my marrow. And I'm like, what's not the point of me overworking? Because what's the difference between 900 and 1,000 something? Okay, there's a difference, but still, it doesn't equate to the amount of effort, the amount of overtime I put into the work. Like, Are you not kidding me? Are you playing? Are you no, 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 no. It was like a rude awakening for me. I was like, hell no. And remember, once you're done with school, reality changes. You start to work full time, you start to pay tax, you can start to pay rent. Okay, yes, of course, I was paying rent, but to school, it was all bills inclusive. This one, you start to pay rent, you start to pay bills, you start to pay council tax, you eat, you buy clothes, you do transportation. Me, I now went to carry car. I had insurance, I had to buy fuel, so many things like that. And it was like, L'Oreal. Let's even assume I wanted to sell my car to downsize, and I wanted to, downsize to the like minimum, barest minimum. It was still no, it wasn't still mathing in my head. Like you guys are literally like taking everything that somebody works for you. Like you're working, giving it back to the king. Because it's HMRC that's collecting money. His Majesty Royal, like His Royal Majesty. When I found out, I was so livid. I'm like, huh? So you people are just eating English breakfast and me, I'm working. So school ended and then we needed to start vacating. We needed to start looking for places to stay. So it made sense to share somehow or look for shared accommodation or something because to reduce bills. So I was sharing with someone at the time. I decided to share with somebody. So I took a space, Immediately after I sorted all of that, I traveled to Nigeria for my holiday. I had it planned like since before. That was November, December. So when I came to Nigeria, I had a good time. I came back to the UK. And in less than a week after that, meanwhile, when I came to Nigeria, I had not planned to relocate back to Nigeria. Yeah, crazy, I know. So me coming back to the UK, I still brought makeup things that I'm going to, use makeup on the side because at least that money is not getting taxed. Let me put it that way. That I can do makeup on the side and everything. So I go back. In less than a week or two, I started receiving bills, gas, electricity, insurance, and that one, this one. Before they said I sent letter. They said we will soon start paying council tax because studentship ends in January. Ninwelu. And at the time, before I traveled, I'd already told my team leader that when I resume, I'm going to be working full time because school was coming to an end already. School had ended in January, so I was going to be working full time. Although the company wasn't sponsoring. So she said, "Oh, no problem. After tax, you earn 1.5 and da da da." That was one problem. That was the old money. You make this amount of money, it goes back into the system somewhat, somehow. And the fact that making that money is like routine, you don't have time for yourself, you keep going round, round, round. And the more, if you say you want to make more money by working extra shifts, the more they take out of it, obviously. So there is that problem there that we had not sorted. Then I started to look at, okay, I had 5 months left. We all did before you start to pursue sponsorship or post study. So those are the two ways to stay back in the country. You either do post study, you apply for post study, which is 3K, to be precise, £2,800, which gives you 2 years to stay in the country. And within those 2 years, if you do not get a company to sponsor you, you're back to your country. So there is that one. Then meanwhile, the post study and your school year does not count towards you getting an ILR. If you want to get your indefinite leave to remain in the country, you have to get a company to sponsor you. The day the sponsorship starts, that's your day one of your journey towards ILR. So every other years before then is zero. So now getting a job sponsorship is a lot, especially considering the fact that a lot of rules were changing when we got there. There is the part where you're tied to the company for 5 years. If the company does decide to withdraw their sponsorship, you have limited period of time to look for another company to sponsor you. If the country decides to revoke the license of the company sponsoring you, you have again such short time to look for another company to sponsor you. It's just a lot of Robodion. Now there is the care sponsorship, which is usually like the most available sponsorship because of the shortage in the occupation, should I say circle or something, for lack of better word.
But then, even the care, there are two things. You have to have been working for them before they can sponsor you for free. The other, you know, segment of it is you have to buy the care sponsorship. Yes, people in the UK buy sponsorship. So you have to collect maybe like 5k. It's just that it's way cheaper to buy while you're in the UK than to buy if you're in Nigeria. So you buy care sponsorship, like almost 5k to buy it and stay. And you're tied to that company for 5 years. Now, that's not even the problem. My own problem is, I mean, yes, you're in another man's country. You have to do all of these things to remain. That is how it is, right? However, me, I looked at it from the point of view where if I actually now do get a company that sponsors me for the next 5 years, okay, people are like, it's not just 5 years. Yes, it is. 5 years actually travels very fast. However, that is not what I want to do in my life, right? So after 5 years, I'll now come back and carry my CV. I want to apply for a proper job. What will I say I was doing in those 5 years? Well, will I don't understand. There is that part. There are some other things again that are just like, in those 5 years, what am I going to be like? Like the things that I want for myself in the next 5 years. If I were in Nigeria versus if I was in the UK, I weighed it against each other and I was like, I'm not sure I want to remain here. Right? Because personally, I feel like the UK is like a flat curve on the graph. Like there is no peaking. You're comfortable, the system works, everything works, there is everything going good. However, there is no peaking. You know, in Nigeria, you can be a regular person. All of a sudden, one day, you can, just hit it. It doesn't work that way there. And so many other things. I just personal reasons, a lot of personal reasons. I'm like, I weighed my options. I'm not sure this place is it for me. And I decided to come back. It's not a very, very easy decision to make, which is why my video started that way. People complaining and saying, oh, the UK is not working for them, or they do not like the system there, or what they thought they were going to see when they got there is not actually what they're seeing. Do you think the decision to actually come back is that easy? And do you know what people have had to go through to actually be able to leave Nigeria in the first place? Some people have sold everything they have before leaving the country. Some people have nothing to come back to. Some people borrowed money to go there. I'm lucky. I have my family to come back to. I can start all over again. I don't have a family. I took there and one child. So it's not as easy for every other person. And again, it's like starting over again. You live in Nigeria to go to the UK in the first place. You're going there to start a life, right? So you've not even started the life. It's like you're just getting to the beginning of a start, and then you just terminate and come back to start over again. Excuse me, it's not an easy task. That's why I'm like, the people complaining, it's like an outlet for them. And people that are here that are saying, come back, come back, people should take it easy. And I feel like people complaining, hold your shaggy and be seeing it in peace. Continue pushing it. God will see you through. And again, you can't be telling you, even if the place is not what you think it is, or if you think it's not such a good place, don't tell people not to come. It is not your place to advise somebody not to come to the UK. The fact that you do not like it there, or the structure is not something you think, or the grass is not as greener on the other side as you expected it to be, does not mean they won't find it greener. Some people actually love that system for themselves. Some people love the routine. Some people don't mind being on that flat curve. Some people prefer it. At least I'm paying and I'm getting what I'm paying for. My sanity is, intact. Everything is intact. The fact that it's not working, or you don't think it's something you particularly find appealing, does not mean other people would not find it amazing or perfect. So stop giving people advice. Share your story, yes, but don't say don't come, stay. It annoys me. It's like, please just stop talking every time you get. Please, you decided to go, see your shige in peace and move on. All right. So anyways, when I decided to leave, I had a lot of people say, you cannot leave. I had a lot of discouragement. I had people say, do you know what is going on in Nigeria? Like, are you deaf? Are you blind? Can't you see what Nigeria has turned into? Can't you? And I'm like, do we all not still have family back in Nigeria? Like, this is not like a do or die affair. right? And again, I said I was coming for my master's. I didn't particularly say I wasn't going back. And of course, in as much as I didn't say I was not going back, I didn't say I was going back, if you get what I mean. But yeah, I'm like, of course, I do know what Nigeria is saying, but people are still making it. They're like, there's no job. Every company is closing up. People don't even have what to eat. It was just a lot of discouragement. However, I am particularly grateful to the people that were, supportive of my decision. You guys know yourselves, and I'm just saying a huge thank you to you guys for supporting me. I love you guys so much. And to the people discouraging me, that discouraged me as well, I understand 100% where you guys were coming from, and I do appreciate your concern for me. Genuinely, I do. Because if I were in your shoes, I'll probably discourage somebody in my shoes as well, if you get what I mean. So, yep, thank you. Thank you so much, you guys. However, when I was leaving, like I'd booked my flight a day to my travel, I had a sponsorship offer. I know, crazy shit. Here's what happened. So I told the person I was going to London before coming to Nigeria, right? So the person was like, "Oh, when are you coming back from London? I would like to work with you." And blah, blah, blah. I was like, well, I'm not so sure when I would be back from London. However, what are you offering? Can I see your proposal for, the work and stuff? And it was like, oh, okay, this, She told me. And then I was like, okay, here's the deal. I do not mind working with you as well. I'm elated about the offer. But my visa expires in 6 months' time, or was it 5 months' time? Yeah, at the time. My visa expires in 5 months. And when my visa expires, what then happens? I need a sponsorship to remain in the country. And I do not think you would appreciate me staying here for 5 months and then leaving your company high and dry. I don't think that's like particularly positive for any company. So I just thought to let you know ahead of time. And then I was like, oh, no, Hadi, I'm going to sponsor you. What do I need to do? This person has never sponsored anybody before. He has a company, yes, but he has never done it before because he has never really employed a black person before. And I was like, that's, you guys, this is somebody that this is something rather that everybody would love to have. However, I had it on a platter of gold. And I had reflect for the next day. I called my friend. I was like, you won't believe what happened. This person offered to sponsor me, and she was like, oh my god. We're so happy because it happened with me. However, I still did not think it was something I wanted to do. I did not think I wanted to stay back in the country, regardless of having the sponsorship. Yeah, I didn't have it at the time. It was a proposal, but I still, there just wasn't this conviction for me to stay back, if you get what I mean. And I started praying again at the time, like, God, what should I do? Because it was more discouragement than encouragement, and it felt like I was crazy, right, for deciding to go back to Nigeria. So I did not get anything. There was nothing saying stay back. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. And yeah, another thing I did, or the decision I made, was, okay, you know what? I'm not so certain in my decision to actually come back home, because it's like everybody's like I'm crazy. So I'm like, could everybody be wrong? So I'm like, you know what? Let me go back early enough. I came back like end of January. I was like, if I stay back in Nigeria and I feel like, girl, you've made a mistake, I'll pack my bags and come back, right? At least that way, I won't continue to remain there and be like, what if I had come back to Nigeria? What would it be like? I don't want to do that. What if? I'm not even in that age where I'll be doing what if. Life is a risk. Jump at it, take the risk. So when I go back to Nigeria, I had a clear plan, a clear cut out plan of what I wanted to do, which was like, I wanted to delve into my makeup aspect of things. But at the airport, that uncle, I will never forget your face. It made me return my chair. Yes. So my friends had to bring back my chair, take back my chair to Edinburgh for me, to Stirling. And yeah, I traveled without my chair, and that was like a flaw in the already cut out plan because I had my flyer done. Like I was so certain and so hell bent on what I wanted to do when I get back to Nigeria, but that was like a dent in my plan. So, anyways, I go back. I was just like winging it. Okay, what's going to happen? What am I going to do? That was just, but I, as each day passed by, I started to get clarity more on my decision to either stay back or return. And this person that offered me the sponsorship called me. We had a meeting and we just had a gist. And then it was like, you know what? I don't mind working with you over a distance. It was just offering me a lot, you guys. But the fact that it still had the opportunity on the table for me that whenever I'm ready, you can always give that back to me. So it was like God was just like working perfectly on my side. But I just knew that I kept having this conviction as the day goes by that no, I don't want to go back there. I want to go back there for visitations. Do not get me wrong. However, I do not want to go back there to live. Right. So, anyways, I don't know. I hope this sums up my explanation. If you guys can make anything out of everything I've just said, there is so much more to everything, like my journey, my life in the UK, and so much. But I don't want to bore you guys with the very long YouTube videos. So hence this computed. I know that this video is going to be very long, and I have to cut out some parts, but yeah, this is what we have here. So I'm going to be gisting you guys about my eye issue later in another video. And I feel like I've forgotten some things I wanted to share as well here. But yeah, this is the end of this particular video. The journey to, start over has not been so, it's not a walk in the park, but I definitely am positive about it. So, thank you guys for sharing in my journey. If you have any question whatsoever, or if you feel like I missed something you would particularly love to hear about, drop it in the comment section and then I would, come back to it. Bye.